All right. If anybody is going to hop in here, we will get started in a second. Wait for a few more folks to get in and say what's up. What is up, Tyler Payne? How are you, friend? Oh, man. Tyler, business going well for you, pal? Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Okay, like I said, we're going to wait for a few more folks to get in. What is going on? Yeah, man, doing well. Just I don't know. Today is it's actually one of the first beautiful days we've had here in some time. It's been rainy and a little bit chilly, but it's actually beautiful right now. So super stoked about that. Um, Things are greening up. Pollen is coming, which means people are going to really start wanting to get on the schedule to get things cleaned up. So we are really pushing our before and after pro wash. What's going on? Pushing our marketing even harder this time of year, as we always do. Trying a couple new things. One of which is something that we did years and years ago with mixed results, and so I decided, I'm going to try it again. And the thing that it was the Val Pack. Now, the Val Pack is, and I'm sure, I'm assuming it's everywhere. Essentially what it is, it's like coupons or it comes in an envelope like this. You get it in the mail, pretty thick, pretty nice. And you go through it, and there are coupons for local businesses, specials, advertisements, whatever the case is. I personally have never opened up the Val Pack. We get them, and it's a monthly deal. It's a monthly deal. I just learned this recently when I was talking to the sales rep for Val Pack, but it's a monthly deal, and they send it out to various zip codes, whatever, and you have the ability to pick where you want to go and who you want to target. So years ago, probably 10 or 11 years ago, we did the Val Pack, and the results were absolutely astonishing. Like, the phone was ringing like crazy, booking jobs, and it was awesome. And then we did it for a second round, and it was like nothing. And it wasn't really even a seasonal thing because it was still in the spring/summer. But for whatever reason, we just hit it hot the first time. And then after it kind of, did nothing the second time, I pushed away and didn't really go into we never went back to that. I get a call from this guy, and he's a new sales rep for him. Reached out, and he was like, hey, whatever. And I've got very little patience. And so I was like, just bottom line it for me. Tell me how many get mailed out, and tell me what kind of, the criteria or the target areas that I can pick from, and just give me the price. And he did. He said, okay, we can do X amount of, we picked 20,000 as the number. I picked the highest cost real estate in our city, single family homes, no multifamily, no business. And we are, what's up, 𝗂𝘂cie𝗁𝗂? Sean is an old friend. This is funny. Sean, next time you come up, we need to get together. And the lodge is back open, and they're doing great things over there. I'm sure you maybe be interested. But anyway, 20,000 homes are going to be getting this. I replicated one of my regular postcards that performs very well for us, and replicated this on the the little quarter page, or I guess quarter page, third page, whatever. And it should be going out soon. But the cost of it was something, excuse me, I think it was like $453 or something like that a month. It was in the grand scope of things, for that many high income households, it was a pretty cheap price, I thought. So we will see. But like I was saying, like myself and I know my wife, we don't look through the Val Pack. We toss it before we even get into the house. So we'll see how it hits. I'm hoping good things. Done a couple other things with the marketing, going into the busier season. We have adjusted our bandit signs. I've been using the same style, the same design for probably 15 years. And they do great. They do great. Then I had kind of a revelation about perception and who am I trying to attract? And I know with bandit signs, I'm not going to be attracting the highest of high-end customers. It's that simple. And if you guys have heard this story, I apologize. But last year, I was driving my daughter to school, and she sees a bandit sign on the side of the road, and she goes, "Dad, what's that?" And she was in 6th grade, right? 12, 11 years old, something like that last year. And I go, "Those are bandit signs." And I said, she goes, "Well, why do people put them out there?" And I said, "To get people to purchase whatever it is they're selling, their services, their goods, whatever." And she goes, "Do people actually call numbers on those?" And I was like, "Yeah, they do. We use them in our own business." And she goes, "Have you ever called anybody from a sign on the side of the road?" And I was like, "Damn, no, I never have." And that kind of got me thinking about bandit signs just as a whole. I know with the track record that we have, they do perform. But again, perform to what demographic, to what household income. And I think that it's probably a little lower than our target really is or should be. With all of that being said, I redesigned my bandit signs. I used to have the $99, and it would drive people crazy on the interweb when they'd go crazy. "Oh, you're the $99 guy. This guy, he's such a whatever." Well, no, it was starting at $99 per 1,000 square feet, and we've never done anything for $99 ever. We have minimum prices in place, this, that, and the other. So with all of that being said, we redesigned the bandit signs, and I did, I think, 200 of them. And they performed, they did well, generated quite a bit of traffic and a lot of jobs. And then I tweaked it even a little bit further. I think I've got one, but it's behind a bunch of stuff. But I went from the $99 thing just to, it said low cost house wash, bright blue, black, phone number, website. And an abbreviated website because Clean Savannah is pretty big. So I went and I bought a different web domain just specific for the bandit signs, and have got traffic going to that, which obviously is a redirect to my regular website. Anyway, just, trying new things and seeing, what works. We've done some really fun things recently. I'm going to go through a couple of these comments here and say hello. Grez says, "Hey, I love your videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you. What's up?" Jeff Jones, Maureen Gonzalez. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sean, love the shirt. Yep. Been mowing grass all day just in time for the live stream. That is great. I know you downstream, but realistically with a 5.5 gallon per minute, 12 volt with all 1/2 inch hose on reel, 250 foot and plumbing, what would you expect on different distance? I've tried different ones, guns, and most I can get is around 35 feet. Okay, 35 feet isn't terrible, right? Like the average, I think one story is typically like 13 feet, 14 feet, something like that. So, I mean, if you're able to reach 3 stories and you're on the low side, oh no, you're not. You're about 2 stories, 5.5 gallon, 12 volt. You're limited with a 12 volt. Now I was thinking gas powered. I mean, you can bump it up if you're going to go 12 volt, but yes, 35 feet is probably about as good as you're going to get. You can experiment, like you said, with wands and guns. The tips are going to be what differentiate your distance more than I think anything else. We use the tall reach tips from Southeast Soft Wash. They are great, specifically designed for whatever pump it is that you are using. So I would look into that. You can check them out over on their website. Let's see. Is that norm to expect without going bigger? Christopher. Okay, I just answered that. What safety nets do you put in place in order to keep yourself financially stable? That's a great question. I think some of the most important things as far as financial stability is don't spend more than you have, right? Don't go into debt. Don't go into unnecessary debt. There is some debt that is okay. A mortgage, a car payment, things of that nature. But don't be stupid with money. Take anything that you earn in your business and take a small percentage and tuck it away for the rainy day, the old rainy day. I call it the war chest. That means when shit goes bad, you're not going to go completely out of business because your machine blew up or your truck blew up and now you don't have any means to generate income. So you need to have that safety net in place. I would say, diversify what you are doing, and not necessarily diversifying in like doing lawn care and carpentry and all these, like, don't be the jack of all trades, but look for niche services in your market, and something as simple as like roof cleaning. Roof cleaning is great, high profit margins, and reinvest in your marketing, right? Because if you're constantly marketing, you've constantly got lead flow coming in, and lead flow equals cash flow, which means, you've got recurring business. So I would think that is something. If that answered your question, I don't even know. I was kind of get the super pump. That's right, Tyler. Southeast Soft Wash does have that super pump. I think you can only put it on order now. I blow it all on cigars and monster rehabs. Yes, Cody, we know you do. And speak of the devil, there it is. The tall reach tip, I get about 5 foot less. That's interesting. We use them all day long and they're awesome. But again, maybe your plumbing isn't up to par. Maybe there's air leaks. There a lot of what happens with homemade or and homemade, because we did them ourselves forever. A lot of the issues with that are restrictions, inline restrictions, routing, hose length. All of these things can come into play with the performance of your pumps, your pressure washers, all of these things. And once we kind of moved away from, me building everything myself to, turning it over to Cody and his crew, right? Like, that's a game changer. It doesn't break as often. Things are routed better. They are built better. They are built for not only performance, but they're built for, long-term use and they know what they're doing. And so, I would look at, the routing, the plumbing, all of those things in your own system to see if something is lacking that might be something that you can, look at. Okay, what else? Okay, if we have any other questions, put those in the chat. I also wanted to mention that everything over at pwcourse.com, the resource page, is 30% off right now. That's everything. Local Dom 2, how to wash, Justin's Facebook ad strategies, you name it. If it's on that website, it is 30% off. And excuse me, we are doing that as a spring special. We know that, it's the busy season. A lot of people are thinking about getting into the business. A lot of people are trying to get better at what they do, become more efficient, get more proficient, understand the upsells, get the marketing on point with Local Dom 2. And so we wanted to give everybody the opportunity to take advantage of a little bit of a special. So 30% off everything there. We are also giving away a Easy Max from Southeast Soft Wash. It is kind of their starter soft wash system. It's got the 5.5, I believe it's a Remco. The pump may vary, but it's got their proportioner with the batch buster blend manifold. It's got the pump. It's got a real deal hose reel in a stainless box. All you need to do is add a water source and a battery, and you're good to go. I think those things retail for like $1,600, $1,800. And 𝗤𝘂cie and Cody over at Southeast Soft Wash, we've teamed up with those guys, and we are giving away we're giving that away. The drawing is tomorrow, so we'll do that tomorrow. And Crystal, do you want to come say hi to the world, the interweb? What? The interweb? Yeah. It's live. Okay, she hates this. So we are, like I said, we're giving that away. The only thing that you have to do is be a subscriber to 𝗤𝘂cie, either a premium, platinum, or ultimate user. Right now, you can get in for $1, right? $1 for your first month. You pick the tier. You can get the ultimate tier, which typically is $129 a month, and it's got everything. It's got InstaQuote, right? Customer self-schedule. It has got email automation, mass text and email blast. We're talking like if you were to go and put other Sean, she ain't coming. You go and you put all the software that we have developed and put into 𝗤𝘂cie𝗁𝗤. If you take all the components, add them up of what you pay elsewhere, you're looking at probably $900 to $1,200 for all the other software packages, right? Some of the other CRM, some of the other quoting software, stuff like that. And with all of that being said, 𝗤𝘂cie𝗁𝗤, you get it for $1 for the first month. And then you pick, whichever plan it is you want. And we've got varying degrees, but the ultimate package is pretty badass. So really excited about that. And that's tomorrow. So get in now, go over to myquoteiq.com, get the dollar deal, and enter into the contest. And who knows, maybe you win. Okay, Ben says, were you the type that could trust people the moment you hired them, or did it take a lot of work or hesitancy to pass off the control of some of the day-to-day work that it takes to run your business? That's a great question. If you are familiar with kind of my backstory, my origin story, if you will, in the pressure washing, soft washing, exterior cleaning world, I bought an existing business from somebody. It was a small business grossing about $45,000 a year. He was doing a lot of sidewalks and dumpster pads, things of that nature. And when I bought the business, I got 2 employees. I fired one immediately. The other one lasted for probably 6 months, 6 to 9 months, because I was still learning the business. I was still learning everything about it. Like I came in cold, blind. And this was a long time ago. This is 20 something years ago. So I didn't have all the resources that you have, like guys like me that are, on the old interweb, teaching and helping people grow their businesses. I didn't have things like the resource page or how to wash or local Dom that taught me how to do these things or taught me how to do the best marketing. I had to learn it all on my own. And it was a significant learning process, which is why some of these things that we offer are so valuable, because you're cutting years off of trial and error, and you're just getting like the good stuff, right? Get rid of all the shit, get the good stuff. And that's what I didn't have. And if I had that, I would be much further along than I am now in my business, but I didn't. So I had to learn it all on my own. But your question was, is it a gut feeling thing? So when I hire people, they go through a series of stages, right? And it's a vetting process. It is an interview, and it is a process, right? And it's a subtle process. But like, say I'm in need of hiring a pressure washing employee, a technician. I will post on Indeed and a couple other places. I've also learned that where you post for jobs dictates the quality of applicant that you're going to receive. And so I post on places where, it's a little bit higher caliber people that are looking for work, right? And it's not because you have to pay to list your job on a lot of these sites. It's also kind of weeding out all of the scumbags and that's not nice. Cheap people that don't want to pay to hire good people. So it weeds all those out. So you're getting a narrower look on prospective applicants. So I put it out there. I do require a couple things. I don't necessarily need a resume because it is pressure washing, but I want to know a little bit about your work history, some of the jobs that you had, education. Is it important? No. Finishing school, a high school at least, I think that shows that you can, stick to something. And maybe it's a GED. That's fine. I like to see people that can, make it through something and have, so that's one criteria. Then if everyththis that I see looks like it might work for my business, then I will send them an email or a text, and I'll just say, hey, this is Mike, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested in talking with you further. Can you give me a call tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.? And so it would amaze you at how many people call at 10:20, 10:30, 11, 11:50, or they don't call at all. And then they're like, hey, Meg, yeah, I was just calling about the job. And I'm like, it's 10:40. you're not the guy, right? If you can't call me when I tell you to call you to get the job, you ain't going to show up on time for the job. So that's one of the other little things. So if they make it through that step, right, that little hurdle, if you will, then I will say, okay, we have our little phone conversation. I ask them some questions, and then they're telling questions. They're questions that I've kind of refined over years to get not get the answers, to kind of get a litmus, right, to get a feel for who this person is. And it's not your typical, I'm going to give you this pen, sell it to me, or tell me about a problem that you had in your previous job and how you solved it, right? Like, I don't want, that's bullshit. Not interested in that. So I've got some questions that I do ask. And then if the phone call went well and I want to proceed, then I'll say, okay, I would love to set up a meeting with you. Can we, what day works best that you've got some time that you can meet, and give me a couple times. So I leave that up to them, because I want to give them the benefit. Like, maybe they've got another job, maybe they've got kids that they're dealing with and they're carpooling, whatever. I say, hey, yeah, okay, meet me at Starbucks at 9:30 on Wednesday, and I'll be sitting in the chairs out front, and we can discuss there. I don't want them to come to my place of business, because if I don't hire them, I don't want, they don't need to know a whole lot. So if they can make it through that hurdle, they show up on time. That's Milo, my dog. Matt. That's my son, Matthew, and I don't know why he's home from school so early. Oh, no, it's 3:30. He's got a lacrosse game tonight. So then I will, if they make it through, they show up on time, it's a good conversation, I feel, then that's when, we start talking about the pay. We start talking about the benefits. We start talking about all the things that I expect from employees. They sign the employee handbook after they're hired, which outlines all kinds of things that, basically protect us as business owners, but it also gives them, an understanding, a clear outline of our expectations and what they can expect from us and what we expect from them. Another key thing when you're hiring people. So if you don't have an employee handbook, it's 30% off on the resource page. You can go check it out. So yeah, I don't just go with the gut feeling. I put people through a little bit of a process to hire them. So I hope that answered your question. That was long-winded, and I apologize for that. Okay, so does anybody else have any questions for me? If not, I'll go ahead and hop off. Okay, great. Also, I will say that is anybody on here using 𝗤𝘂𝗁 currently? Yes, Ben. Mike V, has 𝗤𝘂𝗁 elapsed your pressure washing income? I've got multiple income streams, and pressure washing is still a highly profitable, very good business, right? What happens when you start, and this goes back to Ben's question earlier about safety nets, when you start diversifying, not just, and I'm talking on a larger scale, you're able, when you start making more money, you're able to take that money and reinvest, leverage that money into bigger and better things. And so that is what I have done on multiple levels. And so I'm also somebody that thinks that you should capitalize on everything that you can possibly capitalize on at every step of the way, right? It's just like in your wash business, right? Like, it's called an upsell. Yeah, we're there to do the house, but we're here, so let's do the driveway, let's do the patio, let's see if they need their windows cleaned, let's see if they need, whatever, right? We want to continually upsell. And so that's what we do in our other businesses, is they're essentially upsells. It's more money. It's different revenue streams. And so to simply, to answer your, yes, pressure washing is a good business, and I will continue to have it as a business. I've got great employees. I've got phenomenal systems in place. 𝗤𝘂𝗁 is built on all of my systems, which allow me to do pretty much everything else except have to worry consistently about the wash business. Obviously, I've got my fingers on the pulse of the business. And the reason that I do is because if you take your eye off the ball, it's going to go south. the scalability of a business, that's the key. That should have been the question. Um, I have got multiple trailers. We've got multiple trucks. I've got 2 full-time employees currently. Um, Back in the day, I had 8 or 9 trucks going, and we had, like 8 or probably 8 full-time pressure washing employees. And then we had 10 or 15 lawn care guys, right? With all of that comes a lot of headaches. Yes, you can make a lot more money. Yes, there is, more opportunity for growth within those businesses when you've got all that money. But at some point, at least for me, I was like, you know what? It's not about bodies on the ground, trucks rolling around. I was talking with a guy yesterday, a really good guy. His name's Ryan. He owns a business here locally, and he calls every once in a while. He's in year 2. He did $225,000 in year 2. That's with his Christmas lighting business, and that's with his, or maybe it was, he $250,000 lighting and wash business. And it's him and another guy. Lighting, he brings on a third. He has got great people, right? He is a very sharp guy, and he understands the business side of things as well as, the wash side of things. But we were talking about some commercial stuff, commercial jobs that he was quoting. And, I was asking him about, his process, his sales process, and all of that. And I've totally lost where I was going with this. Holy shit. I apologize. Ryan is sharp. Quarter. Oh, and so we were talking about, like, you can easily go out and we were talking about, pricing and quoting. And I was like, like, I have got my price in my mind that I want to get, right? Because we were talking about, like, big commercial jobs, and like he's quoting something that's could potentially be a couple $100,000 a year contract or more, depending on how everything goes. So we were kind of walking and talking through all of that. And then I was like, for me, I don't necessarily want to, because he was talking about, okay, how much do you think that we can make per truck, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, typically this is the max for a 1 truck, 1 man operation. You've got 2 guys, so it's a little different. And with all of that being said, I was like, I have taken kind of a different route than a lot of people, right? I don't want to add people. I don't want to add additional trucks because, again, it's headaches for me. I've got a lot of other things going on, other business ventures. 𝗤𝘂cie𝗁𝗏 is a very time consuming thing. Justin and I spend, probably 14 hours a day in all reality, involved talking about this, working with the development team, working with the sales team, working with the support team, all the demo calls that are going on. We're monitoring, making sure everything. And there's a lot of back end. There is a lot of stuff that is involved in this type of business, which is all new to me, which makes it so much fun. But I don't necessarily want to, grow the pressure washing business from a size, right? I want to grow it from the dollars. And that's what we've done over the past several years is I've just increased my pricing across the board on everything, right? And that does a couple things. It allows me to pay my guys a lot more than I ever have before, which creates loyalty, which creates, a great workplace environment. When you're making really good money, you're more happy at work. And and Mac, if you're watching, I know I can be a little overbearing. And Matthew, who you guys don't see, sorry, but that dude only works at night, so it's all good with all of, and so blah, blah, blah. Yes, the 𝗤𝘂𝑖𝑞 is a little bit bigger, I would say, just a little bit, but that's something that we can all take away is you can grow your business a couple different ways, but I think one of the easiest ways is to raise your prices. Okay. Let's see. Last question, Ben. 𝗤𝘂𝑚𝗏, long question, or surpassed. I have it, plan on implementing soon. If you wanted to get out of the game, would you sell the business or would you want to pass it down to a family member or a friend? That is a great question. I sold my landscape business. And that was a great deal. I'm very happy that I sold it for multiple reasons. A, because the headache was gone. B, I wasn't passionate about that business like I am about pressure washing or software development, or even training and like our how to wash and local dom. Like for me, that is fun. It's amazing for me when I get emails and messages from people that are like, hey man, thank you so much, I learned so much, whatever. Like that is as meaningful to me as when someone buys it. Well, I like it when people buy it, but I also love it when people can take it, implement it in their own businesses, and create their own business. And that's ultimately what we want to do. Would I sell the business? Sure. If somebody wants to buy the business, I would sell the business. The problem in a lot of cases with businesses like this is if you're a smart human, you know that the business is, it's more about relationships than it is about working. And so anybody can buy this business, but if they don't, have the nurturing sequences and the relationships, it's going to be difficult. Because what I saw with my landscape business is when I sold that, the customers started dropping like flies when the new owner took over, because it just wasn't the same. And they didn't have that relationship that they had with me and my guys for so many years. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. But maybe it's a competitor or somebody that's hungry that wants to get in your market, and you've got a customer base, blah blah blah. That's good. None of my children would be interested in this at all. They are not. That's not up there. They're not interested in owning or running a pressure washing business. If I had an employee who maybe wanted to do some kind of ESOP type deal where they bought their way into ownership and they ran it, that would be awesome. I would not be opposed to that, but that is when I'm ready to move on. And at this point, I'm just not. I've seen it. 𝗤𝘂cije is genius, figured as much so. Smart man. Well, thank you, Calvin. I appreciate that. Best number with 24 battery to power Super Pump 8. Best. I don't exactly know what you're asking. And it's not a 24 volt battery. It's two 12 volt batteries that you have to have. And then you have to wire them up in parallel, I believe it is. I'm sure it's in parallel, but I'm sure it comes with instructions on how to do that. But I don't know specifics on the batteries. That would be a Southeast Soft Wash question that you would definitely want to check out. But like I was saying earlier, if you guys have just hopped on, tomorrow we are giving away one of Southeast Soft Wash's Easy Max soft wash system. It has the soft wash 12 volt pump. It's got a real deal hose reel. It has got the Southeast Soft Wash proportioner with the batch buster valves, which are amazing. And it comes on a steel box. All you need to do is add a water source and a battery. Obviously comes with the hose and the gun and all the tips and everything like that. We're also throwing in a bunch of chemicals for that. And so we're giving that away, and it's going to be, we're doing the drawing tomorrow. Justin and I will get on, we will go live, we will spin a little wheel, and somebody is going to win. And all you have to do in order to be entered to win is be a paying subscriber of 𝗤𝘂cije, Premium, Platinum, or Ultimate. And the kicker, all you need to do that is go join. And that's at myquoteIQ.com. And there's a $1 deal. You get any of our tiers, Premium, Platinum, or Ultimate, for $1 for the first month. And you are entered into it. Todd 𝗂𝘂cije, what is going on? Todd is one of our inner circle members. Todd is a freaking killer. First year in the business, hit over $100,000. This dude went above and beyond above and beyond. That's the name of your business. He invested, he took a chance, left his family business, invested a shit ton of money in the most badass trailer that I have seen come out of Southeast Soft Wash shop. It had everything. Todd spared no expense. And then he kept adding on and on. He's been to WashCon. He's been to Serious Starter. He's an active member in the inner circle, right? This guy, he wrote the check, right? And it's paying off. And it's so fun to see. He is a great guy. And not only is he soaking up knowledge from everybody around him, but he's also helping new guys that are just starting out too. It's a really neat thing. So just a little what up. I have one truck, 8 gallon per minute, and soft wash system. I am a one-man show. How much revenue should I be bringing in? I'm in the Pennsylvania area. Okay. It's really tough to say. If you're like first year business, it takes a little time for things to start rolling, right? I don't know what kind of marketing that you've got in place. I don't know how much you're spending on, Facebook ads, Google ads, if you're doing, the Google preferred, things like that. All of these things have a direct impact on how much money you can make. Is this a full-time gig? How busy are you in Pennsylvania? I know that it is, you've got a limited window of operation. You've got a shorter season. And so that can also come into play. What are you doing when you can't wash? And so those are some of the questions. But, 100 grand, 125, 225. I mean, it's really, it's such a loaded question, and I can't give you a definitive answer because a lot of it comes from you and comes from in here and what you're willing to put in. But these businesses can be very profitable if you operate it like a business, if you treat it like a business, if you understand your business, if you understand all of the components that make up the business, right? If you understand your numbers, so you can price intelligently, you can quote intelligently. You're not just out there, washing for break even, because you're never going to be profitable if you don't know all of those things. So something to think about. And where in Pennsylvania are you from? We are huge Steelers fans, even though they struggled this past season. If you purchase the contract, is that automatically added in the program? Is it an auto upload in 𝗤𝘂cie? No. So you can get the customer contract from either PW Course, where it's 30% off. That's pwcourse.com, the resource page. Everything is 30% off there. We're doing a spring special, how to wash local dumb, all that stuff. Everything on there is 30% off, including the customer contract. Or if you want to, you can go over in the settings in 𝗤𝘂cie down to, I think it says resources on the sidebar, and you can get it there. You will download it, and then you will have to upload it. It's not automatically uploaded, but it is super easy. You go over to settings, you find in the settings where it says terms and conditions. You click terms and conditions down in the bottom right if you're on your laptop, on your computer desktop, which is, in my opinion, the easiest way to bring in your contacts or do any of that stuff. Just click upload, select the contract from your desktop, the file, boom, put it in, and there it is. And then every estimate that you send has got your customer contract attached to it. And when that customer agrees within 𝗤𝘂cie, when you send them the estimate, they get the price. They can either accept or decline and sign it. When they sign it, they are also signing the fact that they agree to your terms and conditions and your customer contract. They can go and look at it, click on it, look at it. If they don't want to, that's fine, but they still have to agree if they still have to agree if they want to get on your schedule. And because of that, you're covered. So I would do that. Philadelphia, boo. My little sister lives in Philly, outside of Philly. I love Reading Market. Some of the best cheesesteaks ever. Do you have a good example of integrating 𝗤𝘂cie with a website? I do. Yeah. And oh man, I'm on this little screen, so I can't really show you guys. So you can go to myquoteIQ.com, and at the very top on the menu bar, it says try InstaQuote. InstaQuote is the tool that you can use to integrate 𝗤𝘂cie with your website. InstaQuote is probably one of my favorite things. It's absolutely killer. And what InstaQuote does is it allows your customers to go to your website, or you can send them a link, however you want to do it. They click on your website to get a quote, whatever. It pops up all of your services, and these are the services that you put in to 𝗤𝘂cie. And so they can select a house wash, roof wash, whatever, and it goes for any service industry: lawn care, plumbing, HVAC, right? We've got all kinds of people using 𝗤𝗂_IQ. It's wild, but they can select the service, and then, you know, it's either like, I need to enter my square footage for a house or a roof, or, you know, if it's solar panels or windows, you can enter quantities. If it's gutters, it's linear feet. So you've got all these options for the various services that you offer. Then the customer, they fill in, you know, what it is that they want to get quotes on. And the beautiful thing is it's an upsell, because they're seeing all of your services and they're like, oh yeah, I want to get a quote on this, on this, on this, and this. And then you know, when they eventually get the quote, they're going to look at it and like, oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. And so with the quote, you know, with InstaQuote, they select it. And then the beautiful thing is we've got the pricing matrix that's built behind, that is not customer can't see it. But like for the house wash, once they click house wash, they're brought down to another little section, and there's a bunch of questions that you can put in, or you can download my templates that I, you know, if you're in 𝗤𝗂_IQ, you get them for free. But you download them. And it's like questions like, how many stories is your house? 1, 2, 3, 4 stories. Is it brick, stucco, vinyl, you know, tabby stone, whatever it is? Do you have a stained front door? We want to know this. And each of these questions, you can go in and put an upsell or a downsell, either a dollar amount or a percentage amount. So your customers, when they say, yeah, I've got a stained front door, we know it's going to take us a little bit more time. It's going to cost us a little bit more, because we're going to have to plastic it, tarp it, tape it, whatever. If they don't, then there's no upcharge. But if there is, then, you know, maybe a $15 upcharge, and they click that, and it's tallying everything up on the back end. And when the customer is presented with the quote, they see the end price, right, based on the matrix behind it. And so that's how you integrate. And then when they enter all of their information, obviously all of their contact information, their quote, everything is sent over to the CRM 𝗤𝗂_IQ. Their customer, you know, profile is already generated. And then, you know, hopefully you can go and close the sale. We've got, obviously, within the email automation system within 𝗤𝗂_IQ, it's an entire nurturing system, which is pretty cool, you know, and there's all kinds of triggers. And if anybody's interested, you guys can set up a demo call with our team, get on a video call with them. They can walk you through all of the software, and you can do that at myquoteiq.com as well. And so let's see here. My computer is about to die. Okay, let's see. That's that. 𝗤𝗂_IQ 5 stars. Can 𝗤𝗂_IQ be used to give free quotes for window washing without them having to call you? InstaQuote can. 𝗤𝗂_IQ can't. 𝗤𝗂_IQ is a CRM. It's quoting software. And so if a customer calls you, then they can, you know, you can get all their information, look up their house, see how many windows it is, create a quick little estimate, shoot them a text, shoot them an email with that, and then they've got that. What I was just talking about, InstaQuote, that is where they can quote themselves, and that's in the ultimate package. And you can try that right now for $1 for your first month. Give it a try. See what you think. It's freaking awesome. Hey, Mike, always a pleasure to listen to you. Any plans to come and do anything in Australia? No, Australia, quite honestly, it's terrifying to me, because I feel like every animal, every bug, every reptile, everything in Australia is there to kill you, right? And yes, I understand that there are a lot of people that live in Australia, but I also, in my mind, feel like there's a lot of people that die in Australia from, you know, have you seen these jack kangaroos, right? Like, I don't want to be like walking down the street and this kangaroo comes up and punches me. Like, I'm not down with that. And crocodiles, like, I would fight any other animal. And we play this game, me and my sons. It's like, okay, crocodile or black bear? Black bear for sure. Grizzly bear or crocodile? I'm going with the grizzly bear, right? He's going to kill me, but I'd rather fight a grizzly bear. You know, so there's alligator, not even a chance. I'll go punch an alligator, right? They're docile. Crocodiles, they're vicious. And then you've got hippos, right? Forget about it. Like, you live in a terrifying place, and I'm not coming there. So if you want to come to Savannah, you can hang out with my Shih Tzus. We'll have a good time. I've got little ducks in the backyard. I've got 3 eggs in an incubator that are going to hatch tomorrow. Like, we could have a big time. But we'll go to Outback Steakhouse. Okay, that was it. Oh, I entertained myself. If you don't. Hi, all. Please give him a like. Only 7 likes. He's giving us valuable info, and he deserves more than a like. Thank you, Orada. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, a like is kind of cool because it tells YouTube, like, hey, this guy is not such a jackass after all. Hello from Fond du Lac. How do you say that? It's kind of a cool name. Wisconsin, like the shirt. My sister has one that George Bush and Dan Quayle. Nice. Dude, I'm going to have to get one of those because Quayle was kind of the man. InstaQuote initiates customer engagement, speed to the lead. That's right, baby. Not only that, but the coolest thing about InstaQuote is like, how many of you guys, and be honest with me right now, you've got a website, right? On your website, you probably have a contact form, right? Or a quote, get a quote. And it's like, I'm going to fill out my name, my address. I'm going to tell you the services that I want. And then I'm going to get, see, this is what we have here. Like, this is not terrifying like a crocodile or some kind of like, you know, koala bear that jumps, like, what do they call them? Droppers? I know that's not real, but it's funny. Anyway, where was I going? Yeah. So, InstaQuote, Todd, speed to the lead. Where was I going with this, brother? I don't know. Hey, Mike, this spring is my year in the power washing business. Besides the obvious with equipment, any advice or tips that you, Tasmanian devils, terrifying. Any advice or tips that you can give for me? Love your work. Yes. And this is the advice that I would give to anybody. And that is, understand your costs. Do not be afraid to charge what you need to be charging, not what you think that somebody will pay you, right? Because I think it'll surprise you. Like, I'm the $99 guy. Okay. And the reason that I say I'm the $99 guy is because I'm going to give a quote and then I'm going to say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to add $99 to that price because I want more money, right? And chances are the customers, if you're calling on the right customers, if you're targeting the right customers, $99 or $100 or whatever it is, whatever price it is that you think is too high up here, it's not for them, right? That's why I was talking earlier about the bandit signs, right? With the bandit signs, right? It's a perception thing. Low cost to somebody that lives in a trailer park is a hell of a lot different than low cost to somebody that lives in $1 million house, right? What's the difference? So, it's all about perception. So don't let your mind, and I don't know you, but I know how I was when I was first starting out, and I was timid. I thought I was only offering pressure washing. I shouldn't be making so much money. I shouldn't be charging so much, and screw that, right? You need to be making more money. You need to be charging more money. You are doing a lot of work. You are investing in yourself. You are taking a risk that most people don't take, and that is starting a business, right? You need to make money in your business. So raise your prices before you even start, right? Don't be afraid to ask for more. Don't be afraid to upsell, but understand your costs so you know what you're actually making. Because if you don't, then it's not smart business. Okay. Thanks, Mike. Might see you in your territory one day. Thanks, brother. All right. So that is it. I think I am about to get off. I've been rambling on for way too long. Don't forget, Quote IQ is $1 for your first month. And you can win a Southeast Soft Wash Easy Max. We're doing it tomorrow. We're giving it away tomorrow. All you got to do is be a subscriber, premium, platinum, or ultimate. Get in right now for $1. Enter, get your chance to win. Who knows? Cody could be shipping you that Easy Max with a bunch of chemicals, and it would be a great starting point for anybody that's wanting to get in, or a great addition to your current setup. Who couldn't use that, right? And obviously 30% of the 30% off everything on the resource page. I got a couple more questions. Mike, how much do you need in general liability when you're just starting? So general liability is like, we've got like 1.5 million, I think is what it is for general liability. That's like what most commercial businesses require. It's the same thing with the workers' comp. I just tell my insurance agent, like, hey, give me what I need for, the not the bare minimum, but what I need so I can go out and I can get the commercial jobs. Because if you don't have it, if you don't have the right limits, the right policy, you're not going to be able to even quote these jobs, because you have to have these things in place. So I would just check with your agent or whoever that it is that you're using, and there might be different regulations in your area. I don't really know a whole lot. What I do know is what I don't know, and when I don't know, I rely on people that do know, and I do that with my local insurance guy. Mike, is it too early in the season to be concerned? I am not getting many jobs. George, I can't remember. I think you're more up north, right? if I'm big time pressure washing, George Yost, I just did a video on his trailer. Good guy. I can't remember where you live, but no, I mean, like, still it's people are just starting to think about spring, right? Spring cleaning, all that stuff. So give it some time. Do not take your foot off the gas when it comes to your marketing. And if you're not doing any marketing, you better start. Okay. Thanks as always. I will replay to see what I missed. What's up, Noble? PA. Yeah. So, it's still a little chilly up there. Like, I think we were like 70 degrees here today. It was beautiful out. I went and met Mac. He was in my neighborhood, and I grabbed him and I made him make a bunch of those videos for me where he does like designs and stuff on sidewalks because it's so satisfying. But that was fun. So that is it for me, I think, unless somebody throws something in that is just, answer inspiring for me to answer. I love it. Todd is busy up in Jersey, full throttle, baby. But Todd is also a guy that is, he lives, sleeps, drinks, eats the business, right? And when you're one of those guys, and I'm sure, I don't know, George, I know that I think you still have a full-time job, which can also come into play on, how how busy you can actually be. But when you're as invested and no is not an answer, sitting around is not an answer, then you're gonna find the work. So, model yourself after people that are doing well, that are succeeding, that have found success, and do what they do. So that is it, y'all. Appreciate you guys watching. And if you've got any questions, you can leave them wherever, and I'll answer them. That's it. See y'all. Oh, Kenny just paid $2,200 for a trailer, full setup at age 14. That's awesome, man. Would love to talk. You got on too late and probably just got out of school, but that's awesome, man. Mike McGregor. Okay, Mike McGregor. I was just telling him. Mike does a lot of our onboarding calls for 𝗤𝘂IQ. So if you guys want to get on an onboarding call, go over to myquoteiq.com and book a demo there. He has got, I think he's booked up this week and probably most of next week. But if you guys get over there, you'll have full visibility of the demo calendar, and we can get you guys a sneak peek of the 𝗤𝘂IQ. Did you hire someone to set up your Google? No, I set up Google, 15 years ago, and it was a lot easier then than it is now. I know a lot of guys are having issues. I mean, there are a lot of hoops that people have to jump through these days just to get a Google business profile, which I think is a good thing. But just go through the process. There are people like, I know Footbridge Media, they handle a lot of folks' websites, and they will do all of that for you as well. So Footbridge Media, check them out. They tell them that, 𝗤𝘂IQ sent you over, and they'll hook you up with everything that you need, including a great website. But that is it. I hope everybody has a great day, and let's go Raiders. We have got a lacrosse game tonight against Islands, and hopefully it's a good one. So we will talk real soon, and you guys enjoy. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all that shit that you're supposed to do. See you.